watched FPX try zero duelist comps many times, and then they don't really work.
Yeah, and we've all had the conversation many times with many different people involved in teams. You hear it again and again that Sky's not a duelist anymore. We're not expecting to see the same level out of Scream on this agent, but the fact that he's picking it, the fact that like I'm excited. Whatever he has got to offer us here. First for us, and as you can see here, the plant's already come down. Gambit with a typical B take. They pop down their wall, they go over to the site. Now they've got a nice comfortable post plant, and the problem here really though is that Team Liquid still have a lot of utility when they come back in particular those flashes can do a lot for getting them through the Viper walls.
Yeah, they've set up for the retake, a full retake strategy, and there's still a flank coming in as well that could just catch that late luck player off guard. It did. Jamppi's already managed to take down his counterpart of Chronicle, and they're winning every single fight on the way back into this site. It's left all onto one man, and this time Nats is not going to be the hero. Solid stuff from Liquid on that pistol retake. Sure, a plant goes down. Sure, they lose a couple of kills, but all in all, it really doesn't matter.
Now, altogether, a successful pistol round. Nivera, in particular, having a nice time on the cleanup. Obviously, we know he's pretty happy with pistols in general, with how he debuted his Valorant career. And the 1-0 here on Breeze is exactly what you wanted. Now, I believe this is Liquid's map pick, obviously, but it's not like Gambit are terrible on this map by any means. I mean, even look at the grand finals of Champions. You know, 13-11 over Ascend.
Yeah, their Champions run on this map was incredible. Like I think they didn't lose it. They won it against Crew, who were great, Ascend, X10, and Secret. So yeah, if anything, I would say it's probably their best map at Champions. That's why I think it's a pretty bold call for Liquid to pick it. At the same time, they've got their new comp. They've clearly done their research, and maybe this was a map as well they didn't expect Gambit to change, because that's the thing. If you're good at a map, if it's one that you've been winning convincingly over the best teams in the world, well, probably don't want to adapt it too much, and in reality they haven't. They've just switched up what Chronicle is playing.
And let's be very realistic. You know, when people, I'm sure it's an easy thing to do to look at Breeze and go, oh, 80% win rate, so they're pretty good, but you have to take the context of recent form, of the fact that Champs was so good, of the fact that when they were losing this map, it had only just come out. They were getting very much getting used to it. They're playing against some teams that they weren't very much used to playing against. There were a lot of variables in there that no longer exist. Gambit are comfortable, and they found the opening duel here on the Link. A quick one for Chronicle, who's managed to retrieve himself a Spectre. Fighting out to the side as well, they'll have a really strong split with players still inside cave and mid.
Information has been garnered by soulcas. Now, I have enjoyed watching his KO play an awful lot, so that it's always going to be worth highlighting. Link as well, switching up agents for the umpteenth time, because it just seems to be his role within this team. Chronicle, though, has managed to find another. Nivera's lurk position might be able to delay the plant a little bit, or at least make it more awkward. Never mind, though. He's been forced out of the corner by Nat and killed off by Chronicle, who now has 3 kills. Make it 4. He didn't even have armor going into this round, and somehow it's only Jamppi left.
God, unbelievable. This is not a round that you should be walking away with even near this amount of damage in. And I don't even necessarily want to put it down to Chronicle having that headhunter weapon, because I think with his Sheriff in hand, he does a very similar job. It's just that he'll have the headhunter here. He'll have Ace and Ace as well. I mean, he's as an operator for round 3 at 0 investment. That, well, we said he needs to deliver. I think he's done an all right job of that.
Yeah. You know what? Eng, good choice. I respect it. Decent work. Love the coach. Or if they're still going to have that same sort of dynamic, or if they're going to opt now to play off of information, because they are a triple initiator right now, which that's not common at all.
Oh, we've ended up with an opening onto Jamppi. A mid-control attempt from Team Liquid, not yielding any results just yet. You're going to fall back and play towards the spawn a little bit more turtly. And with these pistols, play some crossfires, try to catch opponents off guard. You know, you got to go for those ratty setups. As we've seen, the heads-up duels don't quite work out. And I don't think that's what Liquid were looking for at all. I think they were just trying to poke down mid. Get themselves the control, maybe early flank for a B crunch or early A flank, but I don't find anything. Very patient by Gambit too. Look, they posture up, wait for some sort of aggression, wait for some duels, and eventually they say, let's just go away.
Yeah, got an incredibly deep screen as well, so any battles that can be taken at range are just not going to really play that much of a factor, and they've actually planted deep as well just to try and hold on to all of this control. Now this is something that the container will definitely help them with, as Chronicle can now look to swing a little bit further. Bear in mind, he already has his ult online, so him getting kills at this point is almost just a flex.
Farming up, even when the supplies are full, he'll keep on going. Chronicle will close this one out nicely with the Spectre in hand, 2-1. You know, these kind of rounds, not ones that you really, especially against some high tier players like Gambit, who are going to headshot you instantly.
Yeah, I think in your like normal matchmaking games, you're probably all right to escape. When the player on the other side is someone like Defo,
yeah,
you don't get that split second anymore. He's already shot you in the face. So we're going to see in a very aggressive position from him, though. Just waiting around the corner. The pot flash will force him off, but he isn't going to fade away just yet. Maybe hoping that Scream can give him an angle. That's something I never thought I'd see. Scream's the one throwing the supportive flashes for Jamppi to try and get him into angles. It's weird. It doesn't feel right, but hey.
I mean, it's reminiscent of his Breach play back in the day, though. This is a player that very early on showed us in Valorant he has no ego. He didn't come into this game going, I am the Jet. Sure. I will kill everyone. That's what I do. I will Reyna or whatever. He is absolutely willing to step down a little bit and play that supportive role for his teammates. That's how much faith he has in the players that he surrounded himself with. Team Liquid, 45 seconds left, and they're still anchored down on this defensive side. They're going to use their drone in through the halls, confirm that Tube is clear, and all the while Gambit are posturing up for this B hit.
Yeah, taking space here, though, might actually be a little bit difficult. They've managed to smoke off the angle, and well, Defo's just going to go running. Scream with the instant headshot. No surprises there, but there's a lot of targets still to find, and he's going to be able to get a second, at least making this one close, and Link just goes swinging through, trying to maybe waste some time, allow for the remainder to rotate. And there's only 15 seconds left on the clock. If they can catch this player, there's a very good opportunity down to the 1v1, and it's just going to be an open plant. Redgar just sticking it all the way through, but soulcas will eventually swing and close it out.
Solid interruption to close. You got the fragment on backside as well. He's got his Viper's Pit to play with, and someone like Link on a Guardian, it's not the end of the world. But whichever team loses this round falls behind, because their economy will be in the dumpster.
It is very funny seeing Defo buy up an operator and then have to sell it because Chronicle's like, well, you know, I have to use mine, so no, bud. Sorry, no operator for you. I like the fact that we've again seen that initial drone just completely denied by the knife, a more reactive play coming out from soulcas, but it means that they can't actually clear out that Viper's Pit anymore. So Nivera can sit pretty, wait back, and although he still has some support available to him, that's so important, because if he gets killed early, this round completely falls apart.
The operator of Jamppi, we talked about his early aggression, and there you go. The opening duel will be his, and it's Defo that's taken down. One step closer to his Blade Storm, but now out of the game. That won't really be mattering for now. Still though, Gambit have got that operator on Chronicle if they want it, and that's...
Whoa.
Seekers this early, I mean, they knew that there was control over mid, right? It confirms what they already know. I don't feel like that's been too helpful for Team Liquid.
I guess it's just the time. Again, we're down to the 30-second mark, so now knowing that they're still wrapped into mid, they haven't really got control elsewhere, they can start to gamble their rotations at least a little bit more. Link low, but he's still going to catch another, at least keeping this one a little bit more even, and they're probably not going to expect Nivera to be here, because why would he be here? The pit's still up. You think he'd just be sat within it, waiting for you to push. Instead, he's taken that space elsewhere. The flash for sheydos at least grants him some space, but the time is gone, and now they just need to survive.
Yep, carrying these weapons through becomes the primary objective, but as you can see, Team Liquid want to disrupt that as well. soulcas charging forward. You've just got so much boosting your economy, I guess, on that attack side. Oh, that's an aggressive play by Scream.
Yeah, who was saying that it's not going to be played as a duelist? That looked like a duelist to me. This is so aggressive. Fight in from Gambit. They found the entries they needed, though. Trading things out effectively, and Jamppi's probably just questioning, like, how is everyone already dead? The round's only been going for about 30 seconds, but my whole team is gone. Oh, this angle is ratty from Chronicle. The door left open, and oh, it's a freebie. This man is already on fire today. An ace in, what? He's had an ace and a 4K in 6 rounds.
And now they're neck and neck with Gambit having a lot of wind in their sails.
Yeah, luckily for Jamppi, he also now has that economy boost. We can see the early Tiger, and it will at least spot the close players. So they're going to be forced back into the site. And in fact, we actually had the Hunter's Fury pop through from Link, trying to catch them as they go forward, but I don't think that connected onto anyone.
No, it's fired out. No targets to be found by it on the other side. It looks like Seekers are going to go through on the A side, and there's a rotation coming in already from Team Liquid. They've read this play entirely. The Shock Dart Snakebite combo that eliminates sheydos on the way through the choke point. Nats, though, is able to at least recover something. The Viper's Pit going down to try and retrieve that spike, but a tough task ahead of them. Defo will try to thin out the numbers of the defenders as they cross over to the site, but Nats has to hold strong. And they are rushing him down, running it to try and take him out of this round, already dealt with. And as you can see, Defo, he can't make it anywhere near Cave before that spike is diffused. Good round for Team Liquid as they secure a fourth.
Yeah, soulcas having a big round in terms... Oh, sorry, Link having a big round in terms of denial. I'm not going to get used to seeing Link on Sova for at least a little while. Yeah. I really don't feel like a Gambit round at all.
So we talked about, though, reinventing yourself coming into the start of this season. You have to have a new look. You can't just be playing the same game you were 2 or 3 months ago. With a 4-3 scoreline, Team Liquid be situated back into this 2-1-2. And we saw earlier heavy rotates to that A site. This time, though, much more aggressive Viper wall coming down. We saw it before, right? When you have the Shock Dart Snakebite comp, you're always going to have a tough time pushing out through that chokehold. And the fact that Team Liquid stacked up last round and managed to find so much damage with utility, I think they've sort of got Gambit in a spot where they're like, you know what, I don't think Gambit are going to rush out A again. Play the round slower, 2-1-2 it, and they're content to play zero info. They don't even have control over mid, and they're happy with that.
Yeah, well, I guess you say zero info. Triple initiator kind of breaks that mold.
Right.
They have so much utility that we're just finding that information instead, that they don't have to be as aggressive as their old composition relied on. Instead, though, it's going to be the other side that's being very aggressive. Jamppi this time will be able to catch one, and in fact, him and Scream have locked it down. The remaining two unable to get anywhere near this site, and the trades are in thick and fast from Liquid. It's left all onto Redgar with an operator.
10 seconds left. Okay, Viper's in a great spot.
Yeah, Nivera's got to have him.
Oh, if he hit that shot, he could have won the round. That's all right. Well, 5-3. We've evened out. We've ended up back in reality. They chose. Look, starting out on the defensive side for a lot of teams is on a map that you know that you chose. Hey, yeah, you're comfortable enough. You definitely put your time in here. Although they've lost the star player, I suppose, of their team a lot of the time, although arguments could certainly be made. The return is in. Defo's down. The playing field evened up once again.
Yeah, and they're all rotating through the spawn. Liquid have done well in their retakes so far. They haven't really needed to overface. The one worry is still that the tour de force is available for Chronicle, so he can try and watch things on the cross if the players look to try and make their way back through. Also, this time they don't have the screen, because I believe that's been placed down on the other side of the map.
Snakebite, but soulcas already ahead of it. Going to clear out the left corner. A lot less angles to worry about now, but moving into the site still might not be easy. If they don't clear sheydos, he's going to be able to get the jump on them and completely ruin this retake for a moment. Put a crack in it. But they managed to recover it. Just sheer numbers and better weaponry that gives Team Liquid this round. Still, they've lost a lot more players than I think they'll necessarily be happy with.
It's a weird one, really, because in most cases when a single ultimate is used, they don't lose too many players there. They make the retake work in a 4 versus 4, and now, well, buy back in for Gambit.
It's not necessarily about the strict damage that they should have received, right? It's just that this is the benefit of Gambit coming in with this comp, having your Jet, having your Chronicle, as you said. So it's something you have to then consider that, yeah, you're going to lose a lot of rounds that otherwise you would close out.
Oh, dear.
And Nats has just completely destroyed them. Walked into A site, taking a double, the rest of the team joining him, and it's proving to be very easy indeed. Chronicle's mid flank has completely ruined them. And Gambit looked like a fresh-faced team on that one. Team Liquid had no...
I think that's what you have to do with Gambit rounds, because they went from like losing retakes, like not really being able to get into the site, to winning a flawless round. And I don't really think anything changed. Just just Nats walked into the site and then Chronicle did it a few seconds later. Like, it doesn't make sense.
This is going to be tough for Nivera.
Oh,
He's
no.
revealed. He's Hunter's Fury. He's pushed. Still gets killed.
Fair play.
All right. I don't know. He shouldn't have gotten away with that. Well played. And maybe a chance for Team Liquid if they can pick up another kill. In fact, with this plant going down, I see shock darts. Nats is already half HP. There's some opportunities here.
They've done very well at killing off that flanking player almost every single time. Nats, though, with the hold, has turned things back into a 3v3 scenario. This battle means quite a lot, actually. Killing off leaves just the flank remaining. They may not know yet, but with that flash coming through from Scream, they're going to know that both players are currently coming in from behind. They've tried to clear out that back corner. Successful onto one, but the trade from sheydos is there once again, leaving it onto Scream. But he always seems to come through with those headshots. Another round onto the board for Liquid. Their retakes on this side of the map have been fantastic.
Well, that's something that I guess normally I would say you can't really count on, but it is Scream at the end of the day. 7 rounds acquired. Team Liquid do time, and that puts Gambit in a spot where, you know, considering what we've already discussed about the defensive side, they're likely to close out the series. But now 5 being the max. We've seen Team Liquid bounce back. If they can win this round right now, I'm feeling a lot more confident about their next half. But Gambit have gone for a very aggressive strategy, and you can see that pace was not expected.
Well, yeah, this is, I guess, the problem of not having such a dedicated mid hold, is that sometimes a team can just run straight up mid. Most teams won't, but Gambit will.
Yeah, Gambit normally wouldn't as well, being that slow defaulty team. Good shot when that's falling, and Redgar is being dropped. Okay, 3 versus 3. Team Liquid have just been granted a miracle. But the numbers won't stay even for long. And look at this aggression out of sheydos. Okay, maybe Sky is a duelist. I might just take that all back. 7-5 at the halftime. Gambit's attack already clocked up a pretty amount of digits, and as we've said, they're
incredible risks going into the site, and it didn't work every single time. So I don't mind the composition from Liquid. I'm interested to see how it works now going into the attack.
Yeah, I think that's really where the questions start to arise. And Team Liquid are going to have a quick attack here in the pistol. In terms of splitting up through mid, they're already coming into the B site from both angles, and the TP back over leaves just Viper, who's now being kind of pincered in. Players pushing from behind. sheydos gets blinded. Inside of mid, though, you've still got quite a lot of resistance by Nazis, covering off that cross, making sure they can't get over, and the fights from spawn go to Chronicle with the headhunter in hand. Really nice coverage by Gambit, not overcommitting to going back into the side. And for Team Liquid, honestly, I feel like they got unlucky.
They do. Lead diminished. Not going to be a massive investment into this round. And, well, you can see a lot more of a passive hold. Well, I was going to say that, and then I've realized where Defo is.
Yeah. I think when we talked earlier on about Team Liquid, about having Jamppi going aggressive, you certainly saw the limitations to what he could do at times. And I think in the position Defo's in right now, it was very much one of them. The spot Jamppi would love to play him before. Oh, Chronicle, a long-range weapon, takes it up close and then gets himself out with the anchor. Nasty stuff for the opening.
We saw him ace the previous second round. It looks like he wants to try and do it again. Only has 4 bullets left in the pistol. Boy, he's going to take one to the face. I felt like he almost deserved that with how aggressive he was being. But again, we just got utility trying to clear a lot of these angles. That's one of the main weaknesses right now for Liquid, alongside the weaponry, is, well, they don't have much in terms of util whatsoever.
Yeah, not ideal for holding off, having to take all these duels in the open and on range. That's exactly kind of what you expect to happen. And Jamppi's not at a good time there. That's a comfortable enough follow-up for Gambit. Only losing Chronicle, and, well, his weapon's pretty much...
But you then also have the fact that if they kill him, he doesn't give them anything in response. So, it makes things very easy for him to play much more aggressively without the same sort of risk.
Same thing again from him, holding up close, but he's not ready for that window peek, and yet still gets out of there alive. Very much the benefit of playing the Jet. Oh, I think he jumped over some of those bullets. But he can't escape.
Yeah, Yeah, I feel like that was a little bit of cover coming around. He got a bit lucky to escape in the first place, and then Jamppi just denied it. Of course, this is a bonus round for Gambit. Sure, there's a rifle on board in the form of a Guardian for Redgar, which might be a nasty surprise. In fact, it is an easy kill onto Jamppi there, and now they're going to try and clear some of these closer angles, but the information's been given over to the other side.
Redgar is enough of a problem by himself, and just wait. Oh! Is that a shock dart going straight down? I think a little bit of damage dealt. Redgar still alive on backside, dodging all kinds of utility. And Chronicle picks up one in the end. Look, all things considered, this round is successful, I think, in terms of the amount of damage done.
If there's a lot of utility in someone, you can almost stop. But I feel like a lot of the time, used a lot better when you're in an afterplant, which obviously relies on everything else first.
Yeah, again, it's one of those sort of passive ults. It's useful in certain situations, but it's not something that's going to save a round all by itself and be the turning point. Sheydos is picking up the opening here, still powerless, unable to pop any of these flashes, and so there was no escape. Either just keep taking the wall bangs or try and get out of there. And falling on the way back, the rest of the team are cleaning up these duels and leaving soulcas to do it all. They don't know where he is, and he'll get one, but not ready for Nats to be there too. It's a short conclusion, 8-8.
Yeah, spot the man who's been doing his said than done when you don't know where your opponent is. Ultimate gone, but there's a couple more coming online. The problem is the financial position that Team Liquid find themselves in. You lose 3 players in the previous round, you almost have to take this one as a bit of a hit, other than soulcas, who had a few extra credits.
Well, Jamppi's going to be trying to get some damage done with that operator in hand, but they're not going to commit this towards the A side. Instead, trying to capitalize on the control that soulcas has already got up through mid. That's where the operator is going to be joining him and looking to pick off a head or two. I expect this to be a pretty slow round from Liquid. I mean, really, this is where you just let Jamppi run wild and try to have his own round.
Yeah, see if he can take things into his own hands. Doesn't have anything to help him escape at this point, and it's definitely a little bit awkward, but nobody's really going to go fighting. Eventually.
Second tag.
Yeah, we'll see the drone taken out, but he had to use one of his operator shots to do it, and now they're going to try and burst into this B site.
Good opening. Sheydos in a little bit of trouble. So many players coming around that corner. He does well to get the triple before falling. Still, that operator, the tour de force in play, looking for a victim on the site, but you can see Gambit are conscious of it. Nobody wants to swing out wide and give those fights away. I say nobody. Chronicle does, because he's got an off of his own. The ultimate trading out Jamppi and leaving Scream in a bad situation. I think he might have just eaten that snake bite. And that's going to be a 9 for Gambit secured. Still, to look at the threat posed in
Defo in his little lurk spot on the site. It's just those micro details coming out from Gambit that, well, made sure that he wasn't just going to get pressured by someone. This is why I'm scared of Chronicle on this agent.
Yeah. Once that wall goes down, he's got such a good spot of vision. I don't think he could TP from where he was, but yeah, he's going to step right back on into it. Defo's holding control up above. They're about to face on in. Look how many 3 players just down below on the ropes. One is spotted, but the others are ready to peek up above. Defo, he was absolutely in control, and his fallback is even being covered. He's just going to tuck in and wait for Chronicle to come in and assist. Although Chronicle goes down after the 1, it's still a pretty beneficial spot to leave them in a 4v3.
Yeah, I like that setup. They have to push through tube, but an escape plan is set. Sure, it didn't go exactly to plan, but it gives them a man advantage, and now they can get the heals back in onto Defo as well. That's definitely a worthwhile trade for Gambit, and a cool little idea to give them some space in the round. There's 40 seconds left mid, and they haven't left bottom mid. They're going to have to use their Seekers to just try and find out if anybody else is still aggressive from Gambit.
This is going to give an opportunity, actually, revealing Nats in towards the elbow, but he makes the right call, falling to the B site. The wall will go up a little bit late, and he's able to grant vision, and this is a massive problem. The Seeker doesn't quite reach. It's canceled out at least, so they don't know that he's all the way to the back of the site just yet. And the drop down is spotted. soulcas eliminated. A second follows suit. And now the spike is in Nat's hands. This round is done. Complete control for Gambit. 10-8. And Liquid have got to be kicking themselves. They isolated the player on B. They tried to deal with it.
What he does. 10-8. I feel like Liquid are almost falling into the traps of Gambit every single time. Look at the way that Defo is playing. He's got a free kill. It's too easy for him and even hits the tap onto soulcas as well. Nice shot from Jamppi, but doesn't garner anything from it. Okay, Nats is going to go back.
Yeah, gonna be finding one. You know, not often you see a sheriff kill from somebody playing as a chamber. Jamppi's already out of those bullets. Oh, not quite reaching all the way.
Toxins going up. Poison orb emitting.
This stage, really, for Team Liquid, I'd look at even where their wall is. It's not granting them that easy access to the A site. A lot of hope's going to be dwindling, but power in numbers is how they're going to default to. Oh, well, that's the spike down. Well handled by Chronicle. Jamppi's low HP, so shouldn't be too much of a threat. But he's Jamppi, so that's on me. I'll take that one.
You had to say it, didn't you? He's still got 44 seconds to play with. There you go. Defo's there to close it out. But 11-8. And that's the thing. Like, Gambit's defense at the moment is looking far more pro.
Constantly give themselves buys. Well, they also have a ton of credits on Gambit.
Oh, it's so dirty. He doesn't get the kill, but there was no way they were expecting him to just swing back out through that. That was pure panic on the other side. Defo wants to go back for more. He is not done fighting. There's already been a trade back and forth with one kill coming in and Scream able to make it a little bit better, but they still haven't cleared sheydos from the backline. And that was the most awkward fight I think I've ever seen. Another round on the board for Gambit. You wanted to know the time. Well, that's what I said before. Like last time we saw them play against Ascend in that grand final, Ascend only managed 2 rounds on their attack, and that's with CNED. So, like, let's put it this way. It is hard playing this side of the map. sheydos still lurking within. Did he peek out of that, or did he just headshot him straight through the screen? There's been trades back. Hunter's Fury trying to clear out those backlines, and well, I was about to say looking like an afterplant, but every couple of seconds there's a swing from Gambit that takes off another scout.
Now with this, I mean, Team Liquid again having some promise in the early round, but things start to switch in the other direction. See if they can bring it back. soulcas and Link, shock darts to play with for Link, but it's really the duels you've got to be winning, and Defo comes in quickly. Those ultimates that we spoke about starting out this map, Chronicle and Defo close it out with them. It's 13-8 and 2-0 as Gambit started out strong here in the EMEA Challengers.
Yeah, for sure. And I said it was a bold choice going into what is probably the best map out of Gambit when it came to champions, and Liquid gave it a go. They looked decent on their defensive side, but Gambit just looked unstoppable. So many strong individual plays. Chronicle still